something that I wanted to talk about, and I know we always talk about
How
vape.
much we love vaping.
I know we always talk about vapes on here, but there's like obviously once a month where I'm going through a phase where I'm like I can never vape again, and then I keep getting TikToks of these people in the ICU due to vaping,
Oh my god.
and I legit have to force myself to like watch the full thing through. Where there's like some young girl in like a hospital bed, and she's like, please, if you are watching this, if you're watching this, like, please quit vaping. Please quit vaping. And I'm like,
I guess.
Probably
not, but
and then it
I'll
doesn't
think about it at
last.
least.
And then it doesn't last. So
There's this girl that I see on TikTok sometimes, and she just like posted this video, and she's like, I have to quit vaping now. Like time is up. Like I have to quit vaping now. And so she like did this whole thing, like got like literally like went out and bought everything she would need to like help her quit vaping.
like what?
Books, like Tic Tacs, like literally like all of this stuff. And then she had like 7 vapes, and she like got 7 cups of water and dunked all of her vapes in water. Like some of them were still in the package. And I was like, I know so many people that would have taken that. But anyway, and then she was like, she put a Kit Kat. She put a Tic Tac in her mouth, or a few Tic Tacs, and then took the Tic Tac container and like sucked on like the opening like a vape. And I was like, that's actually kind of smart. Because it's like the
You're the
kind of
one
the
who
same
sometimes
vibe.
gets a vape that has no nicotine, right?
I've gotten one once, and I haven't been able to find it since.
My friend had one of those too, and it was actually really chic. It was like skinny and like it was really cute.
Love.
I was like, okay, that's a vibe. But I like after I hit it, I was like, okay, where's my vape? Like
No,
I was like,
literally.
what the fuck
That
is the
did
point of
nothing
this?
for me.
Maybe I'll try one of those. But I was thinking about it the other day. I was like going through my history of vaping, and I was like, I used to be the kind of person who would like, if my friend had a vape, I would like hog it the entire time that I was with them.
Me.
And then I kind of graduated to like, oh, I would just like find one and have one sometimes. Like I would never go buy one. And then it went to like, oh, like I'm going to a concert, or like, oh, I need one for this weekend,
It's always anytime you're like going to like
to something.
some where there's like a venue and you're maybe going to be dancing. You're like, I'm definitely going to need a
No,
vape.
1,000%. And then now it's just like I've turned into the kind of person where it's like there's 3 in my car. I don't know which one works. There's one in my nightstand drawer. There's one in the kitchen somewhere. There's 2 in my work bag. There's 2 at my desk at work. And I don't know what works, what doesn't work. And it's really sad and embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like it's really bad.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm able to quit.
I think I'm still in the safe zone, because like I didn't buy
You are, I feel like.
I didn't buy a vape for months, and then because I bought one and then I bought another, and then I was like, this is not going to be good, I'm not going to buy anymore. So I actually didn't, and I smoked a lot of cigarettes for a minute, and then I got tired of cigarettes, which always happens. So like thankfully cigarettes will probably never be a problem for me, knock on wood.
I just don't like smelling like cigarettes, and like the ritual of it is like
They're just so much more inconvenient.
so inconvenient.
And so it's like if that's the only nicotine that you're going to be able to get, it's going to be much easier for you to quit cigarettes than it is vaping.
For sure.
Which who knew that our world would ever evolve to a point where we're saying that? But anyway, so then I had a stressful week like a few weeks ago, and I was like, fuck it, I'm buying a vape. And then I just went and did it. But now this one is like literally so burnt. It's the most disgusting thing I've ever put in my mouth. And I'm still hitting it. And I think as soon as it dies, what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to go buy Zins, and I'm going to get like if I can find a nicotine free vape, I'll do that just for the time being for like the oral fixation part of the whole thing. And then if I can't, then I guess I'll try like the Kit Kat trick or the Tic Tac trick. Fucking A. If I keep saying Kit Kat.
I know people that are like obsessed with Zins, but I feel like Zins are just as addictive as
They are, but I
vaping.
think they're less bad for you because you're not like
inhaling the
chemicals,
battery fluid.
It's like, I could be wrong, but I feel like Zins feel safer in my opinion, and probably would be easier for me to put down. Like I don't think I'm ever gonna be like needing to put a Zin in my lip. You know what I'm saying?
Me with like a chewing tobacco in my mouth.
So
that would
disgusting.
be so sickening.
Have you ever tried chewing tobacco?
I haven't, because it disgusts me.
Okay, well, I grew up in Yeehaville, obviously, so I have. And that is like one thing. And I hate this. I hate this every time I have to talk about this. I hate myself for it. But like, I can never enjoy mezcal because it tastes like chewing tobacco.
That's disgusting. I mean, it looks like beef jerky sitting in like water,
It's so
or like
gross.
it looks so disgusting.
There's
so I could never.
zero appeal to it. There's zero appeal. Like, and it makes your stomach hurt. And like, even if you swallow like the tiniest amount on accident, it makes your stomach hurt so
Oh
bad.
shit.
Like I think everyone will probably say that they threw up the first time that they did it. Like, it's not an enjoyable experience.
Disgusting.
I'll stick to my fucking cotton candy flavored vapes if I had to choose one or the other, obviously.
I remember one time, years ago, I think I think my sister was like 12, not even 12, maybe like 13, and I was what, 18? Yeah, I think I was like just in college, and we were home for Christmas, and like a bunch of my cousins like used to chew or still do chewing tobacco. And it was Christmas Eve, and we were like out walking around like Candy Cane Lane, and like my cousin gave some to my sister, and I literally remember like fucking going ballistic.
Really?
Like I remember going like fully absolutely ballistic on my cousin and being like, what the fuck is wrong? Like going absolutely berserko. And it was kind of an iconic moment for me. But
You were that kind of older brother.
I wasn't, but I think it was like a point in my sister's middle school career where she was like kind of hanging out with like bad kids, and I didn't want her to like
Be a shithead.
be a shithead. And I
Yeah.
was also just like I was also always hiding everything that I was doing from my parents. I don't know. I just thought that like it was disgusting. I didn't want my 13-year-old sister to be like chewing tobacco.
No, that's disgusting.
And I didn't want like my older cousin to be giving it to her. It pissed me off so bad. It pisses me off thinking about it to this day. But
The reason I did chewing tobacco for the first time was because my sister gave it to me.
well, that makes sense. Yeah. But I was like, I don't want, she was like getting into a lot of trouble, and I was
Yeah.
like, I don't want her to like think she's cool. And then like but yeah, that was my big brother moment.
Slay.
My one and only. But I was like protective.
The only time my sisters would ever be protective in that way is if somebody was like mean to me. But like if I was getting in trouble, they were basically like, you're an
a
idiot,
fucking
and
idiot. Like
whatever.
you're fucked.
Like they would never like
Yeah.
go off on anybody or like go off on me or anything like that. They'd be like, you're literally dumb, and like that would be
And that would be it. Yeah.
Yeah. I did have a cousin one time. I have a cousin who's like a lot older than me. I don't know how old he is at this point, but we're like friends now, and we always joke with him because he's fucked a lot of our friends. And we live in different states. We see each other. We
Shit.
literally see each other like once every 5 years. And
And
like
he's
every
fucked half your
opportunity
friends.
he has, he's like fucked our friends.
Good for him.
And like we'll text him in the group chat sometimes and be like, hey, do you remember that time you fucked all of our friends? Like, anyway, one time it was like when it was either on MySpace or Facebook, but like I had just like added him as a friend. He like accepted my friend request, and we were like IMing. You remember when we called it that? IMing. And I like said the word shit or something like that, and he like went off on me, and he's like, do not speak like that, you're too young, blah 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 blah. And I was like, ew, like
you're probably 6 years
embarrassing.
old on
No,
MySpace.
I was literally like probably like 9 or 10, and he like went off on me, and after that I was just like,
You're a fucking loser.
no, like you are not gonna pretend to be an authoritative figure here, like, okay, no. So I always have lacked respect for people who like do that,
Do what?
like go off on other people for stuff like that.
For saying bad words?
Yeah.
Oh my god, do you know who I'm obsessed with on TikTok? Do you know that I don't even know her name. It's irrelevant. We don't have to talk about it.
What?
She's like this little Indian chick on TikTok with like a mustache, and I think she's on the spectrum, but I'm like obsessed with her. And she's like, hell yeah, I use cuss words. Like I say the S word, the B word. Anyway, she's
Love
sweet, and I
her.
love her.
Love her. That reminds me of the Miranda Cosgrove video where she's like, yeah, I do cuss a little.
Yeah, exactly.
Miranda
Um,
Cosgrove is like very interesting.
Is
to
she like a
me.
real life? Is she a
Person?
human?
I don't know. She just came out with a movie. Did you watch it?
Absolutely not.
It was like cheesy. It was like cute, but it was cheesy. But like after seeing those videos of her like in interviews, like talking about that guy that like was stalking her and then lit himself on fire on her lawn and like that whole thing, I like can't. I don't know
She's
what
like a
to do.
politician. She like has that politician vibe to her where like when she's talking, she's just like a robot.
And she's like saying the most
Yeah, like yes,
outlandish,
he lit himself
insane
on fire in my
shit.
front yard
And she's
and
like
yeah,
giggling and
and you're like,
smiling.
"Okay,
Like, babe, are you
do you need to go to
okay?
therapy? Do you have trauma?"
Yeah. And like, I don't know, because she's like, she seems like such a little goody two shoes. And then like, she like tries to not be like in that video of her. Yeah, I do cuss a little. And it's
Yeah.
like, but she's gone through so much trauma. It's like, how can you still be a goody two shoes and like have experienced what you've experienced? Like, she needs to like shave her head and like have a Britney moment, I think. And then
She
I'll respect her a little more.
I agree. But I
Yeah.
also kind of like love
A girl
the
that keeps it together.
yeah. I'm like, okay, Queen Cosgrove,
No,
like
that's so
she's a
true.
royal. Like
That's
she
really
will not
true.
crack.
I just think that like I obviously just love chaos. So like
So you need her to have
I
some
need
kind of
her to
chaos.
be a little chaotic just
Yeah.
once for me to
I've
respect
always like
her.
put her and Vanessa Hudgens in the same category.
Yeah. Hasn't Vanessa Hudgens had like a little bit she's had a little more character though,
She has.
publicly.
She has.
Yeah.
But they're both like kind of robots to me.
Yeah, I could see that. Was that Vanessa Hudgens who was saying during the pandemic when she was like, well, like, weren't those people gonna die anyway? Was that her?
I have no idea. I don't remember.
She like got canceled because she was like talking about COVID and stuff, and she was like, I mean, but all the people like, is it really? She's basically saying like, is it really that bad? I mean, all the people that are dying are like really old and like not healthy anyway. So like, it's like they were
It's like
gonna die
weeding out the like
anyway.
fatties kind of thing is what
Yeah,
she was
kind
saying.
of. But like, it's like if they were to, it's like if they were to like get the flu or something, like they were
Yeah,
gonna die
yeah, yeah.
anyway.
Well, that's what
And
we were all
everyone,
thinking.
I mean, yeah, and everyone like came for her for it. It was like a whole thing. But anyway, I don't even know if it was her. It was somebody with dark hair. Anyway,
Me.
hi. Oh, hi, girls.
Oh, we should get into it.
Welcome
Hi.
back to Hot and Bothered.
We were missing something. I was like, we're missing something here.
I'm Cedar Sham.
I'm Chris Bruno.
And on this podcast, we talk about everything that we find hot as fuck.
And everything that bothers the absolute shit out of us.
We have no credentials.
Minimal life experience.
Don't take our advice on anything.
And just have fun with it.
Buckle up.
Buckle up.
Yeah, buckle up so we can continue talking about fucking
Miranda
Cosgrove.
Cosgrove. Like fucking two idiots.
Okay, so you hot or you bothered?
I'm bothered this week because as a lot of you girls know, and boys and gays and men and women and
Thank you so much
everybody
for being
else,
inclusive.
fuck off. I'm a little bit of a traditionalist. Like I want to have a life partner, contrary to what most think. Like I want to have basically, I don't think I can, like, open relationships scare me. I've never been in an open relationship. I feel like it causes a lot of problems. I don't know. I feel like it, like, leaves a lot of room for, like, have we talked about this already?
Yes.
When did we talk about this?
I don't know the episode.
Okay, example is, okay, something that makes me, like, weird about open relationships. One, I feel like it's, like, super, subjective. Is that the right word or objective? Subjective.
I have no grammar skills.
Where it's like you can interpret it however you want. Like there's like so many, there's like a big gradient of like what an open relationship can be essentially.
Yes.
And that scares me because I don't know what the fuck to expect. Also, like,
And like, how do you go about like figuring that out?
Yeah,
Like what your boundaries
yeah,
are without like
yeah,
getting hurt? Or,
exactly.
Like, yeah. Okay.
Which I understand. It's like whatever. What I'm leading up to. What I'm gonna, I'll just jump to the fucking end and then I'll backtrack.
Okay.
I've been talking to a lot of people in the homosexual community lately over the past week, and
I didn't
basically
even know that you knew people in the homosexual community.
and basically everybody is like, they've all three random people have all said like monogamy just like doesn't exist anymore. Like I'm over it. Like it's just And these people are saying this because like they have the same thought process as me, but they're like so fed up with gay culture that they're just like it's just impossible. Like I'm not gonna even like strive to be in a monogamous relationship anymore, or even have that like as like a baseline standard anymore. I hung out with this guy last night and he was like he was a little bit older than me, and he was like he was like, I want to be in a monogamous relationship, but just like, he's like, it's impossible because I've been cheated on by every single one of my boyfriends. And he was a very, very handsome, very successful guy. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, why the fuck would someone cheat on you? Like, I would be afraid you would like beat the fucking shit out of me. Like,
Yeah.
but anyway, um, and then also, oh, okay. So back to what I was saying. So whatever, everyone's saying that like they don't believe in
Monogamy
monogamy.
isn't
I have a
real.
couple other things that we can throw in there, but like for example, when a guy messages me on Grinder and he's like, have we talked about this already?
There was a guy that was messaging on Grinder that like had a boyfriend and you weren't sure like they had been like doing threesomes before and they were like exploring.
Okay, correct. Yes, we talked about
Is
that.
that
Well, kind of. But then these guys are like trying to like coordinate with me like when it's going to be like convenient for them to come over so like their boyfriend doesn't
yes,
know.
we
We
talked
talked
about this
about
one
that.
specific guy that was doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so technically, like, you're in an open relationship, but you're lying to your boyfriend about like where you're going and what you're doing. And then
Yeah.
you're going to like go hook up with some random guy and then like come home for dinner.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, now it's coming back to me, but like, I don't need to like logistically figure out like how we're going to like sneak around your boyfriend just so we can like fucking hook up. Like,
Right.
I'm turned off by that. I don't need to be doing that. Like, that's taking the fun out of it for me. But yeah, I'm bothered because I'm losing hope a little bit, and that's even something that's going to be possible.
I have a hard time with this idea because like I think like as like a straight woman that dates men, unfortunately, like this has always been an internal conflict within me. It's like before I even knew that open relationships could be a thing, it was always the question of will I ever even be able to find a man that would be able to be faithful? Like if I were to
Mhm.
end up with somebody and we were to have like a long term, like lifelong commitment to each other, would I even be able to find a man that wouldn't cheat? Like I don't
Mhm.
know if that's a real expectation to have. And so like I've always grappled with that idea. And then obviously like the idea of like non-monogamy is like now a thing and I understand that and have explored like a relationship within that and whatever. And I don't think like I don't want to commit my life to somebody unless I'm like literally so fucking obsessively in love with them. And if I am in like a relationship like that, I would never in a million years be able to be in an open relationship with them.
Correct.
But like the only like I could be in an open relationship with like literally six different guys at this present
Yes.
moment and not give a flying fuck because
Yeah.
I like don't really care about any of them because
Yeah.
I'm not in love with anybody. But like I wouldn't want to spend my life with somebody that I'm not like crazy about.
I feel like for me, this might be like a little personal, but for me, it makes sense to like. I feel like when you're in a relationship with someone and you're obsessed with them, it's just naturally going to be monogamous because you're not going to
Right.
like want to be with other people. But like, I get it. Like a few years into it,
You get
if
a
you're
little bored.
you're a little bored, you're like on vacation kind of vibe. You want to
Yeah.
like mix it up a little bit. But
Yeah.
I don't think it needs to be like the forefront of like what's keeping like your sex life alive. Like
Right.
for me, that would stress me out. Like I would be down to like do things with my partner, but I don't think that I would necessarily want to be like, sneaking around them or
Right.
like seeking it out per se.
Right.
And like I feel like if I were to be seeking it out like that, then that would mean that I just wasn't really happy in the relationship itself.
Right. And then it's also like it gets to a point where like if you do go that route, like if you are like, okay, well, we're like kind of a little stagnant in our sex life, like maybe we try mixing it up, whatever, then it's like, and then say you open the relationship under like whatever conditions that you
Mm-hmm.
choose, like then does it get to a point where you're like all appeal to your partner is lost and you just want to fuck other people and you and your partner aren't fucking each other anymore? Like I wouldn't want that either. But it's also like when you know what it sounds like when somebody's like on the toilet with food poisoning, you don't really want to fuck them. You know what I'm saying? So then when you
Mm-hmm.
like open it and then you're meeting like new fun and exciting people, like you're just eventually, I feel like, just going to stop fucking your partner. And like that would
I
suck.
do understand. Like, I know why people do it. Like, oh, it brings us closer together, and like we're like, it. I understand that you can like kind of bond over that aspect of your relationship in a completely different way. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the same
Like,
time,
do you mean if like you are like involved in it together, or like if you
yeah,
talk about
yeah,
it,
yeah,
or like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Like it's like a bonding. It's like a it's yeah, like that's
yeah,
only something that you two are kind of experiencing together in that relationship. So it's
yeah,
gonna like kind of make your relationship stronger. But I just feel like the doubt and like the I just feel like it can kind of like cause more harm than good in a way.
right,
And like
right,
if I were to have like one instance where I were like to catch this guy slipping, like I would be like,
right,
you're fucking like that would just make me so paranoid.
right.
Like for the rest of my entire
Like
relationship.
once you lose
Because that
trust, then it's like
yeah,
gone.
because
Yeah.
it leaves so much room for error and I don't know.
I also feel like it is so, I don't know why I'm just now making this connection, but it is so entirely different for gay people to be in open relationships than it is for straight people, because it's like even if you are in a non-monogamous relationship in which you like can talk about it with your partner and like tell them like what's happening and like whatever, when you're, how do I word this? Like this thought was just so clear to me, but like okay, so say I'm in a straight relationship and we're like getting bored and we want to mix it up. I don't want to fuck another girl. My
Correct.
husband wants to fuck another girl.
Correct.
I want to fuck another guy. My husband does not want to fuck another guy. Like you can't really
Yeah.
like, you could have a threesome, but somebody's going to have to compromise. And then it's
Yeah.
like, so then when you're like, okay, well, we're not going to have a threesome because then like someone's not going to be satisfied in some way. So then we're just going to open the relationship. Then it's like, well, does my husband want to hear about another guy fucking me? Because then he's like, that's like a weird thing,
Like a power like
like a
man
power thing.
complex.
And then it's
Yeah.
like I don't want to hear about him fucking another girl, because then it's also like,
Weird.
yeah, but then I feel like when you're gay it's different, because then it's like,
It's an even playing field.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and
And
then
also
there's,
every gay man is in an open relationship. So
yeah, I'm just trying to figure out like why it's so different for me in my head, like when the, like,
no, because it's like straight across the board for gay men, but then like with it's a different dynamic for heterosexual
yeah,
couples.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
like unless you're like unless you're like a straight girl who's like married to a bi guy or vice versa,
yeah,
a straight guy who's married to a bi girl,
and
or
then
you
you're
guys
like,
could
okay,
both
we're
be
gonna fuck
bi,
girls
or you
together
could be I
or
mean like yeah,
separately,
the limit does not exist, but
right.
it's just much more straightforward I feel like for gay men.
So if I ever want to be in a successful relationship, I would have to be with a guy that is bisexual and is okay with fucking other guys,
Unless you were a lesbian,
which I'm not though. So
you should be,
I
but
really wish I was. But I did want to go back to something that you said because I was curious. Oh, I forgot it. Oh, okay. Did monogamous relationships ever even exist in the first place? Because it's like, yeah, there probably were those one off married couples that have been married for 50 years and like no one ever cheated, but also like people have cheated in the vast majority of long term relationships. And every time, this is so fucked up and sad that my brain goes this way, but like every time I meet an old couple, I'm like, okay, who cheated? Like, or like you can catch a vibe like when you know that like he probably cheated or something. You know what I'm saying?
when
Like,
he's like creepy and like overly touchy and flirty and
no, not even that, but just like the way that he talks to his wife, or like
mhm.
how often was he away on business trips and like those kinds of things. Like, okay, like I'm thinking of a specific example when I'm talking about this. He was always gone for work and she was like the little slave that she was because she's a grandparent, and she was a stay-at-home mom and like whatever, and the husband worked, and he was like that type of guy where he was like, he's like ex-military, like thinks his shit doesn't stink.
Yeah.
He's like cool and he's like the breadwinner and has a cool job and like whatever. He for sure 1000% most likely cheated 1.5 million times. And it's like, yeah, like they were together until he died. But like that's not a relationship I would want either.
It also makes me like nervous. Like I can even like I can barely hook up with someone single. How the fuck am I supposed to like find guys to cheat with when I already have a boyfriend?
Yeah.
Like I can't fathom that.
No, I can't either.
How am I supposed to like what situation would I be in that would cause me to like potentially cheat on my partner?
Right.
Like why am I not put in those positions now as a single man? Like why am I
Yeah.
not put in those positions?
Yeah.
Like I'm like that is crazy.
No, I think cheating absolutely comes from like a deep unaddressed level of like dissatisfaction in your relationship. Like there's just no, like you just wouldn't cheat if you were satisfied in your relationship and
Yeah.
like you're too fucking dumb or emotionally unintelligent or whatever to like be able to have a conversation with your partner and like address actually what's making you unhappy. And so then you just like are
True.
outsourcing. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
Okay,
know.
so
No one take offense to this. We might like I just don't think that an open relationship would work for me really. I might do it one day and I probably will, but I don't know. For me it's like I don't want to be in a relationship with someone that I'm not obsessed with, like what you just said. So
exactly.
I don't think that I also something that has been interesting for me is like obviously my social anxiety is at level 5000 at all times and I'm overanalyzing every single situation that's going on, not only with myself but with the other person. And like if I'm talking to a gay man who, so I think that like a platonic flirting situation is like kind of like fun, and like I think it's fun to flirt with people.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's like a hobby.
It's fun. Like I will flirt with anyone. Like I will
Yeah.
flirt with the straight woman, like the cashier at the grocery store. I will
Yeah.
flirt with my Uber driver if I think he's cute. Like I will flirt with absolutely everybody. But when a gay man is flirting with me who has a husband or a
Mhm.
boyfriend or a partner or whatever, and I don't know if they're in an open relationship or not, I'm like, where is this conversation going? What are your intentions? What is going to come out of this? Are we having a threesome in 5 minutes, or are we just both on the same page of we like to flirt with everybody,
Yeah.
or what the absolute fuck is going on?
Right.
I don't know. And then I just start spiraling.
Like that's almost like another layer to like the concept of monogamy. Like is it okay and allowed within your relationship for you to like flirt with other people like without intentions? You know what I'm saying? Like
That's a scary question.
cuz it's like okay, I have like a whole like layer to this conversation that I can add. I have been my entire life I've been accused of being a flirtatious person. But as I get older, I don't actually flirt. Like I think I'm realizing I don't think that I flirt. Like I'll laugh at a joke, you know? But I'm not going up to somebody and being like,
Like, oh my god,
"Oh my
your
god,
hair
your
looks so
biceps are
sexy
so
pushed back. Yeah.
strong." Like I'm never doing
Who
that.
does that?
I'm never well, like I just am not ever flirting, I guess, in like this standard sense. And like when I'm interacting with a straight man that I don't, this actually
When
is
I know someone is flirting with me, I like coil up like a fucking, what are those bugs called?
caterpillar.
No, like a roly fucking poly. And
Oh,
I'm like, what's going on in this situation right now? Because
yeah.
I'm like, one, there's no way that you can be attracted to me in any world. And two, and two, I'm just like, how am I supposed to respond to this right now?
No, because then it's like once you're thinking about it and you realize that you are having to be an active participant,
Yes.
then you get
Then
nervous.
you get nervous.
Yeah. Okay, so actually
Ties into your top pixika.
this actually kind of ties into my topic. So thank you for asking. I am bothered this week
Of
because
course.
okay, so here's the thing. And I've always said this, and if this isn't your first time hearing this rant from me, I'm not going to apologize. 'Cause I'll probably be doing this for the rest of my life. I am like, I'm a girly girl, right? Like I always have been like the girliest of our family. But my dad raised 4 daughters and he raised us on a farm. So like we're not
Normal.
girls. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I think because of that, I've always I hate fucking saying this. I hate it so much because it like makes me sound like such a pick me. But I always have really enjoyed friendships with men. And like I love to like bro out. I will never talk to you about sports or like anything like that, but like let's talk about like the hot girl that you're dating, or like let's talk like let's just like bro out
Like shoot
together.
the shit.
I'm like really down for that, and like I like male relationships because of that. And I find like even in like I remember being in middle school, like I had like a group of guy friends and it was like me and like 3 guys and we were like super tight. And like I've always just really enjoyed like male friendships, right? But then as you get older, there's a lot of conversation, especially now, of like, is it even possible for straight men and women to be able to be friends? And I have like kind of a hot take on this. And I have to credit my ex-boyfriend for like bringing this to my attention, because he at first was the first person to say to me like, men and women can't be friends. And I was like, that's a horrible thing for you to say. And I like took personal offense to it. But then after I've like spent some time thinking about it, like I think women can be friends with men, but I don't think men can be friends with women. Because it's like I can have a guy friend and like we'll be literally just like bantering and talking shit. And like for me, it's like just fun and we're just having a good conversation. And like he said something funny, so I laugh at him or at it or whatever he said. And then in his head, I'm flirting. You know, it's like you just like you can't have like a casual and fun and enjoyable like conversation with a straight man without it being perceived as flirting, because like men are so horny, they're looking for like any indication possible that you might want to fuck them. And so it's like I'm never actively flirting with somebody. I just love to have conversations with people, and it's always just interpreted as flirting. Like you could be the ugliest person I've ever fucking met and we could be having a fire conversation and you'd think that I want to fucking take you back to my hotel room in 10
That's what I was
minutes.
also gonna say, is like these guys probably like want to fuck you because you're like a pretty girl.
Men don't seek out conversations with women that aren't pretty. Like they wouldn't waste their
You
time
know
on
what
it.
we need an ugly woman to come on
No, we
to
do.
come on and attest to what you're
No,
saying,
we
because
do.
I have no idea.
No, okay. I actually have a clear example of this, and I'm sorry I kind of like stole the conversation from your topic, so we're going to circle back to that. But when I first moved to New York, I was in a long distance relationship with the boy that I dated in college. And he like honestly, I probably could have cheated on him and he wouldn't have cared. Like he didn't actually care about me. And I went out this one night and I like wasn't even 21 yet. I was using my fake ID, like whatever. I went out this one night and there was this group of guys that came up to me and a girlfriend of mine, and we were all like chatting. And there was one guy that I was having like a really good conversation with, and I was like, this guy is fucking cool as fuck. And like I genuinely just wanted to be his friend. Like I didn't have any interest in him romantically at all. And I purposely didn't tell him that I had a boyfriend because I knew the second I did,
He was gonna
he
turn
was going to
around.
walk away.
Yeah.
And so I didn't. I never told him. He bought me drinks all night, and like I don't even think we didn't even exchange phone numbers. We just like had like a great fun night, just like getting to know each other like as friends on my behalf, as whatever he wanted it to be in his head. And I actually like I told my boyfriend about it. I was like, I was with this guy all night. I didn't tell him I had a boyfriend, and I got a bunch of free drinks. And he was like, slay. Like he literally was like,
That's
he
more than I
he
can
literally
provide for you.
responded and he was like, that's my girl, or he said something like that. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay. But like it's sad because it's like, as a woman, like guys don't care about you. They don't care about you if you're not available to them in a sexual or romantic way.
Yeah.
Like that guy wouldn't in a million years want to just be friends with me. If he can't fuck me, he's turning around and finding somebody else that'll fuck him. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like so annoying because I would love to have guy friends, but I can't have guy friends because guy friends can't have girlfriends. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, and I'm not trying to change the subject, but I'm just thinking about that dynamic with gay people
Yeah.
because that's kind of like what I'm faced with.
You're trying to navigate.
Yeah, it's like, okay, can we just both be friends? Or like, what if I like think that you're cute, but I don't want to like pursue that because I don't want to be creepy and I don't want,
Right.
and I don't
To
know
like
how
ruin
you
the friendship and
yeah,
like,
but like yeah,
yeah.
like I would, but like
Right.
it's
But like,
just it's
are you like capable of being like, maybe you don't even know this, but are you capable of being like just friends with a guy who's like conventionally attractive? Is that an option,
I
or
mean,
would
I
you
feel
be
like
like,
none of my friends are ugly, so yeah.
you have gay friends that are
Well, I have friends that are
hot?
um I don't want to out them. I don't know. I feel like I like I don't know.
You know men that would fuck a guy that are like hot.
Yeah, but I don't want to be like they're like one of their test subjects.
Oh, okay.
I
So
also
if
feel
they
like
were
I
like,
have gay friends that like I've hooked up with before that I would never hook up with again.
yeah,
And I feel like that's like how 90% of gay people become friends is like, oh, we met on Grindr and then we became friends or something like that.
yeah, I've heard of that before. I'm like, how does that happen? I'm like envious of that. Like there's so many guys that
Yeah.
I've like gone out on dates with that I'm like, I don't need to date you, but I would love to be your friend.
Yeah.
You know?
Sorry, I'm thinking about a lot of people in my life right now that I'm like trying to classify and it's like hurting my brain.
My brain is hurting too. We've like really taken a weird spiral with this whole
Yeah,
conversation.
I'm not sure if any of this even makes sense.
I don't think it does, but they don't care. They're just as brain dead as we are.
Yeah,
So I
they.
also, do we have more to address in regards to platonic flirting? Because I have a story I want to tell, but I want to make sure because I did kind of cut you off on your topic.
I don't remember. I think I'm done talking.
Okay. Okay. So I just gave an example of like what I was talking about, but I want to give another one because it just happened and it's relevant. It made me so mad. It made me so mad.
Tell
Okay.
me.
So there's this guy at my work and he like has a
Mm.
real job. He only works 1 day a week. And when I first started, like I was like, "Oh, he's cute," but like I'm like he's not my type, you know? And so like throughout the course of the time I've worked there, we've gotten to know each other and like as friends. And lately, we've like over the past couple of months, we've spent more time like chit-chatting during our shifts together and stuff because he went through a breakup that was like really hard for him because he cheated. And like literally rolling my eyes so hard. And he before I knew that he had like cheated on her, I was seeing this guy and we were like gonna hang out and I like had him come to the restaurant and grab a drink with me so we could talk to this my coworker about his breakup. So after like literally like an hour of conversation with my coworker, he like finally like admits that like, oh yeah, I did actually cheat on her and she like caught me. And anyway, so
I would be so annoyed.
we like literally therapized him. Like it was like a whole conversation. And because he was like, yeah, I exchanged phone numbers with this girl, but I didn't actually cheat. And then like my date literally flat out asked him like 20 minutes later, he was like, but were you kissing her? And he was like, yeah, we kissed. And then I was like, okay, so you cheated. And he was like, I guess I did cheat. And that was like the first time he was admitting it to himself that he cheated. It was insane. Anyway, the brain of
Psychopath.
a straight man. And I hate to use this story because like this story specifically about him cheating because he's like he like started therapy and stuff and is like really trying to work on himself and I'm like I'm proud of you. But anyway, so we bonded over that because I was like you need to do better, you need to be a better person, you need to figure out why you're cheating in relationships and like figure it the fuck out. And so we have kind of gotten close because of that and like we bonded over his breakup. So he talks to me about the girls he's dating. I talk to him about the guys I'm dating. Like every week he comes in, I have a new story for him about like the drama going on in my life, about the boys I'm dating, whatever. And like we all know that there's like a few consistent contenders in my life, like AKA the big dick boy. And like I always talk about my ex-boyfriend, so on and so forth. So me and this coworker have gotten closer and we've been having like really good banter. We're talking like giggling together. Like we have great conversation. And then it like at a certain point like started to be a little more flirtatious, but I'm like still trying to decide if I just see this guy as a friend or if there's actually something there. And so we went out together one night, and at the end of the night, it was like a group of us out. At the end of the night, it was he and I alone, and he was like getting handsy with me earlier in the night. And I
Oh, no.
literally, yeah, and I literally told him, I was like, we're not hooking up tonight. And he was like, oh, okay, why? And I was like, because I don't want to, and I feel like sleeping alone in my bed tonight. He was like, okay. But then I had a bunch of people back at my apartment, and then like we were up late, and then everyone left. He was the last man
Oh,
standing.
God.
We decided to go get food together, and we were like, I was literally balls deep in a grilled cheese, and like balls deep in a grilled cheese. We were watching Broad City or something, and he looks at me and he's like, do you want to make out? And I was like, no. Like there's literally grilled cheese in my mouth.
Yeah.
No,
No.
I don't want to make out. And he was like, I don't know, like I'm just like confused. Like, do you like me like that? Like I can't tell, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I don't know. Like, cause he had kissed me earlier in the night. It was right before we were about to leave to go meet up with other people. And I was like, I pulled away. I was like, I'm not letting you fuck my makeup up right now. Like we're about to leave. We're not doing this. And so I like didn't even kiss him at that point. And then I told him later on in the night we weren't going to hook up. And then, of course, he lingered at my apartment until almost 6 a.m. And he was like, I just don't understand. Like, are you attracted to me? Like, do you want to hook up with me? Like, whatever. I was like, well, like when you kissed me earlier, it was like fine. But like, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. We've been out all night. And like, I'm not in the mood to hook up with you. Like, I didn't say this part, but I was like, I don't even know if I'm attracted to you yet or not. Like, in my head up to this point, like, you've mostly just been categorized as a friend to me. And the fact that like I've been talking to him about anything and everything, like no topic left untouched, unturned,
Yeah.
like whatever. We've talked about everything. Like there is no reason he should be attracted to me at this point because I've shared with him a lot of stuff. And he literally fucking said to me, he was like, I just don't understand. Like every week I see you, you're talking to me about like the guys you're seeing and like the guys you're sleeping with. And like you're always talking about the guys that you're hooking up with. So I just like don't understand. Like he was basically saying like he doesn't understand if I'm hooking up with other guys, why I don't want to hook up with him. Like as if just because I have hooked up with other people in my lifetime, like he's entitled to like hook up with me.
Yeah, like you've hooked up with the man before, so why can't you hook up with me?
Literally, like
Yeah.
excuse me?
Yeah.
Like are you actually consciously choosing to say this right now?
Also, like, wouldn't you be turned off and like think I'm a slut because I'm talking about all the guys that I've hooked
but
up with?
yes, but then also at the same time he was like, well, you're a slut, like you're easy, so like why aren't you fucking
Did
me?
he say that?
No.
But like
But
he's
like
thinking
that's
it.
kind of
Yeah.
like what
the tone
that
was.
was implying.
Yeah.
Like, will you hook up with other guys? Why won't you? Like he was basically saying, well, you're easy, like why won't you fuck me? And I'm just like, up to this point you've basically been like a bro to me. And like the fact that like that is like the way I was approaching this friendship between
I
he
feel
and
like you've been like burnt too many times by the same kind of situation.
I mean, men.
Yeah, but like I
Like-
don't know why you. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, just everyone wants to fuck you. Like,
It's just so annoying because it's like, why can't we just be friends? Like, why do I have to be viewed as a sexual object? Like, I just would like to have friends. Is that really too much to ask? Like,
it is.
it's crazy.
It is.
Anyway, so like, even though I was never consciously flirting with this man, I never touched him. I never put my hands on him. I never felt his biceps and said, oh my God, you're so strong.
You're like, I've looked at him for a
Like,
maximum of 2 seconds at a time.
I literally am like, I'm literally approaching him with conversations being like, okay, so I had this guy over last night, da 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 da, like literally telling him like in detail about my life. And like, I'm sure I've talked to him about like other like inappropriate and graphic stuff, sex aside. Like, I've probably talked to him about like having food poisoning and like shitting my pants. Like, that level of like transparency and still somehow it's like perceived as like being flirtatious, and then like he's mad because I don't want to fuck him, and it's like, can a bitch just exist?
He's probably talking to his therapist about you.
He should be talking to his therapist about a lot of things. Okay. So platonic flirting isn't a real thing because people are just too horny for that. The
I don't know.
human
I'm still trying. I'm
species.
still figuring it out. I'm still figuring it out.
So do you think flirting can
But
exist
my
in a
biggest, my
relationship?
one of my biggest fears is like, is like being that entitled person like that. Like I will never, like, not that I won't be the one to make like the first move, but I will never like shoot my shot when I'm questioning something.
Or shoot your shot and then be like, why?
Why what?
Like being like, why don't you want to hook up with me?
Oh, 1,000%.
Like, do I
Yeah.
need an excuse? Do I need a
No,
signed
no, no.
permission
Last
slip?
night, I
Like,
mean, last night when I hung out with this guy, we hung out platonically, and it was like, it was nice, and then the fact that he wasn't creepy, like, made me more attracted to him, which is what I was thinking of, is like why these guys like want to fuck you, is
because I'm not like,
because you're probably not like throwing yourself at them.
yeah,
So that's what I like. That's what I experienced last night with this guy. But I was like, okay, I'm not gonna like make a move
make a
on you
move.
because I
Yeah.
don't know where, like, you
Like where
could
we
think I'm the
stand.
ugliest person in the world, or you could think I'm a complete fucking moron. But then
Yeah.
I was also like, when you said why, I was thinking like, okay, if I were to, and it were something were to happen, like, what would I want the outcome of this situation to be?
In what way?
Like, what, like, these are things that are going through my head as I'm sitting on the couch with this guy. I'm like, okay, so if I were to like make a move and he were to reciprocate and we were to like say hook up, interpret that however you want,
Mm-hmm.
am I gonna want, would I want to hook up with this person again? How would I feel after?
Mm-hmm.
How do I feel right now in this moment? Do I have
Mm-hmm.
to use the bathroom? Do I feel fat right now? Like, what did I eat for dinner? And then I'm like, what would a relationship look like with this person? Like,
Right.
what if he annoys me after this? What
Mm-hmm.
if he ghosts me? What if I have to ghost? I'm just like, it's not worth it.
Mm-hmm. It's totally not worth it.
Yeah,
I
I'm like,
completely agree.
I don't.
Especially when you're like vibing with somebody. When you're
Yeah,
not really vibing with somebody and you're like kind of horny, you could be like, yeah, we could hook up. And
exactly.
then you
It
don't
almost makes it
care.
easier.
So you just don't care what
Yeah,
happens afterward. And then it's like, but when you're vibing with somebody and you like actually want to pursue them, then it's like it
but
it
I was
makes
like
it
already like
scarier.
being like runaway bride vibes. Like before we even hooked up, I was like, I'm already like self sabotaging this entire fake
Right.
relationship in my head before we
Right.
even touch each other.
So we don't have to worry about that.
So I don't even think it's gonna be worth it
Right.
for either of us.
Right.
I should text him.
Okay, wait. So I wanted to ask you, we need to like not be talking anymore, but I wanted to ask you, do you think platonic flirting can exist within a monogamous relationship? Like if your partner were to like be out and like flirting with other people in like a casual way, would that bother you?
It would bother me, yes.
So once we're locked
I don't
in,
know. I don't know. I don't know. If I like trusted this person and that was just their nature,
yeah.
then no, it wouldn't bother me. And it would depend, it, the way that they flirted with other people, like if I was receiving that and the world, like, well, not literally the world, but like, I don't know if I should like talk about this. When I was in Dubai, I was spending a lot of time with this couple, and the husband was very flirty with like everybody, and the wife was there the entire time, and like their relationship and their bond was like
So strong.
so strong that she
Yeah.
was like so unfazed by it and like didn't care, and
That's hot.
and I thought it was hot, and I
Yeah.
was like, that's like she's like such a boss bitch, like she's like so hot, like so secure, and I was like, yeah, then let him fucking flirt with whoever he wants to flirt with.
Yeah.
Like he's not like taking bitches home.
Yeah.
Like you know? So
Yeah.
I thought that was like he's having his fun, she's like having her fun too, but like at the end of the day, like they're,
They're
put
going home
together
together
and putting
and
like each other before like anybody else. Like
yeah.
I thought that was like cool, so that made me wonder like if I was with a complete fucking loser who was like flirting with other people, then I would be like, that's not
Ick.
fucking cool. Like
Right.
stop, like get your shit together. But like I feel like it just depends on your relationship and also like that person's personality.
Yeah.
So it just depends.
I also feel like as a woman, like I can flirt with somebody that I have no intentions on sleeping with to get something. Like I can gain a lot by flirting with somebody. I could get literally anything. I can get money. I could get a free coffee. I could get a job. Like as a woman, men will do anything for you if you flirt with them.
If you give them that glimmer of hope.
Exactly. And like as a woman in a heterosexual relationship, if she's flirting, she's being an entrepreneur. But if a man is in a heterosexual relationship and he's flirting, he's just being a sleazebag.
I think it depends.
What is a man? How is a man benefiting from flirting with a woman outside of his relationship? Because men don't get free things from women. So what is he trying to accomplish? As a woman, if I'm flirting outside of my relationship, I could benefit in a number of ways. How could he benefit other than to like have sex?
Again, it could just be like his nature. I feel like seeing this couple when I was there, like
Yeah.
changed my perspective on this. And I feel like it's a really has to be like a really, really, really interesting dynamic and like two really strong personalities that work really well together.
Yes. And I think also like there has to be a certain level of trust that takes a long time to establish
Correct.
before you can get to that point where like
Yeah.
that behavior is like you're comfortable with
Yeah.
that, which I think that that's like the most important part. Like being faithful and consistent with your partner to establish trust and then being able to be like, I trust you so much that like I literally don't fucking care if you're flirting with Susie at the end of the bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're done talking today.
We solved all the world's
My eyes are
problems.
shutting.
We know everything there is to know about monogamy now
And
and
non-monogamy and flirting and platonic flirting and
we gained nothing from that conversation. I'm still just as clueless as I was before.
I don't think that we're here to educate.
That's so true.
We're not here to educate.
That's very true. Okay. Okay, so this week you are going to go flirt with somebody that's not your boyfriend
Mm-hmm.
to
Or
get
girlfriend.
exactly if we're being inclusive, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Or
You're them.
partner,
Yeah.
or you're they thems.
Yeah.
Whoever you're with, go flirt with somebody other than them.
Platonically.
Platonically, yeah.
Keep it open.
Don't be a creep.
Not open, but
and
keep the dialogue open.
leave the door cracked like a little bit,
Yes.
just like a little bit of light in. What else are they doing this week?
I don't know. I forgot what your topic was about already.
My topic was about make friends with a straight man.
Don't. It's not. Just learn from Cedar's mistakes.
Test the theory.
Yes.
See what happens.
Thanks, guys. We love you.
We
Have
love
a
you
gorgeous week.
so
and stay tuned
much.
next week for a fun little epi.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's something we can announce that.
Yeah, bitch.
We should announce that. Okay, yeah, we're having a guest on next week, and it's gonna be a big fat fucking sleigh. So tune in next week, and we'll see you next fucking Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
We love you.
Love you.
Have a
Mwah.
gorgeous week.